Weather hazards. Paragliders are limited in what wind strength and weather conditions they are safe to fly in. The wind is invisible, but there are clues in the sky and on the ground. Look at the effect of the wind in the trees and on water, and the speed and types of cloud. Observe other paragliders and birds. How are they dealing with the conditions? Imagine the wind like water and picture where the white water would be. The wind will accelerate through gullies and around the ends of ridges. Small outcrops and trees will produce rotors behind them on the lee side. Make an honest assessment of your own flying level, skill and currency, and match it with what is required by the flying site and conditions. It's better to be on the ground wishing you were in the air than in the air wishing you were on the ground. Strong wind. If the wind speed doubles, the turbulence increases 4 times. A gusty wind will be more turbulent than a strong, steady wind. If the wind speed increases, there is a risk of being dragged on takeoff or of being blown backwards whilst flying. At launch, if you feel the wind is quite strong, make a risk assessment of what will happen if the wind does increase. What hazards might you encounter? What are your escape options? What are the possible consequences if you are blown backwards? A smooth coastal site with a clear, safe area behind is less hazardous than a spine-back ridge or a takeoff with electric wires directly behind you. If you're in any doubt, don't fly. Takeoffs in strong wind require good glider control. If in doubt of your control, it's better to go somewhere low and practice ground handling, rather than getting dragged or spending the day sitting waiting on the hill. Beware at the bottom of the slope, there is a chance of getting into the lift band and getting blown over the back of the hill. Also avoid sheltered valleys and areas behind trees, as turbulent rotors can break away and have the power to lift and drop you. Also check what obstacles you have behind you in case you get dragged, as well as what wind hazards you have in front. On takeoff, stay on the wind line. Imagine the wind is coming towards you like a river. Look at the point on the horizon where it's coming from. Turn your face so the wind feels even on your cheeks and there is an even sound in your ears. Choose a point there and take off facing it. The glider will naturally want to face into wind and will fly at its slowest directly into the wind. If it turns, it will gather speed and drag you. If this happens, let up the control on the side it's dragging, as well as pulling on the brake on the side you want to go. In the air, keep a constant check on the weather and your penetration into wind. If you are caught out in a strong wind, you can use your speed bar if you are high and the air is smooth. If you need your speed bar to take off, then you should not fly, as you have no margin for error. If the wind increases, also using your speed bar down low is extremely hazardous, as the wing is more likely to collapse and has more violent reactions. If you want to get down, use your big ears first, then press the speed bar. If you do it the other way, you could induce a front collapse. With big ears, you can rock from side to side to increase your sink rate. Sometimes turning and running with the wind is a safer option than fighting it as you descend down through turbulence. On landing, control the glider quickly to prevent being dragged. Pull the back risers as you touch down. Using the brakes to collapse it in a strong wind is not advised, as it will create a lot of lift before it stalls. If you fall over and lose control, you can also pull one brake line in, or any one of any other line, and just keep pulling it until the wing collapses.